It's the Hair Kitchen, baby, and you know what it means. G. Marie gon' come around. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, let's start the show.
Hey hair care hotties, it's your girl G. Marie, and welcome to the Hair Kitchen. Today's guest I have known for over 20 years in the beauty industry, and I want to thank her for coming on and let me allow her some time to introduce herself to you all.
Well, hello, G. Marie. First, I want to say it's such an honor to be a part of your show today. My name is Katrina. I'm the owner of Tré Shades Hair Studio with over 30 years of hair industry experience, and I'm honored to be here today.
Thank you. So, over 30 years. So, I've known you over 30 years. That's
Yes.
exciting.
Yes,
What
absolutely.
inspired you to come into the beauty industry?
Well, one of the things I've noticed when I was a young child, I've always had a passion to uplift women. So what better way to do it through the art of hairstyling? So I said, why not go to hair school so I can uplift them, not only from the inside, from the inside out, to make them feel beautiful about themselves. So it gives me great pleasure to be able to help other women feel beautiful from the inside out. And my primary focus is to always uplift and make them feel connected. So
you
that
have
is one of
always
the
done that.
reasons, yes, I decided to go into the hair industry.
That is so
Yes.
true. She has a great relationship with, like, a relationship that I've not seen with a lot of other stylists with their clients. I'm like, wow, y'all
think it's
best friends.
necessary.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to be your best friend, but I definitely want you to feel more than just, when you come into my establishment, my primary goal was not only to make you feel like you've just come there to get your hair done, but a lot of women need to feel connected. So to come here to feel uplifted, connected, and build relationship, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, I've seen it firsthand, so
Yes.
I'm always amazed in how it has helped me to change, because I didn't do that in the salon. It was strictly business.
You were
I was
like-
afraid to cross certain lines because I
Yes.
didn't want people to be confused, but I've seen you do it, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty nice.
I think it's needed.
Yeah,
I think
it
it's
is,
needed
it
in our
is.
industry, yes.
So I have changed a little bit behind the chair.
Great, I'm glad. Likewise, I have too. Fooling with
Yeah,
you.
we've helped each other.
Yes, absolutely. You never know the impact you may leave on another hairstylist.
Exactly.
That's just like a young lady used to work for me. She was great at promotion and all of that, but her energy, her aura was totally off.
Yeah.
But she said once she worked for me, she said that made me change. She said it made me a better person. I said very good. And I said, and watching you come in and be able to sell, to be able to be punctual, to come prepared for work has helped me also. So
That's good.
you never know what you may
It's
do for
definitely a
another-
two-way
Yes,
street.
absolutely.
So over the years, when I first met you, you had a huge salon, and I say huge because most private salons are not that big.
Yes.
There'll be like 5 chairs, 4 chairs. You had, like, felt like 20, but you said it was 12.
It was 12.
And it was a lot of people in there all the time, and
Yes.
you sat up front on the right, the first station.
Because I had to see everything.
Exactly.
everything
So from that salon to the second salon, tell us a little bit about your journey of salon ownership.
Okay, so in the beginning, my focus wasn't to open a salon with 12 stations, honestly. When I started looking, I just got blessed with that space because the young lady, I think she had took sick and needed to come out of her lease. So I took that space on, not really knowing what I was getting myself into. But once I got in there, it was an honor to start a business and not have to struggle. I mean, those doors, when they open, I mean, it flourished from the beginning to the end. And the only reason I left that establishment was the shopping center was changing at the time. I think we were going through a recession at the time, and they were changing ownership, and they just wasn't doing the same things anymore. But I was honored to be able to get some great stylists to work for me. I mean, they
did.
were wonderful. To be able to work with 12 different personalities and strive, and everybody got along. And that's what I like most about it, because even the clients, when they walked through the doors, they felt that certain aura.
Yeah.
It wasn't any confusion. They felt love. They felt like, and they was like, wow, I've never been in a salon where everybody's great, everybody get along, the owner has a wonderful attitude. I said, well, honestly, my business, it's a reflection of me.
Yeah,
And I'm honored
absolutely.
that you feel that when you come in. I want you to feel welcome when you come in. You're patronizing my business, and you're helping us thrive. So I've been honored to do that. And then we moved on to another salon, which was in Oxon Hill. Didn't want to really go over there, but that was what I found at the time. That was great too. I was blessed to keep the same stylist after about the 13 years that we were in Landover. All of my stylists followed me over there. And then we decided to go. Some of them went on and opened their own salons once we came back over to this side. But still to this date, The young ladies that work with me have been with me for over 22 years, so I am forever grateful for them. And I told them, whenever I make it, baby, you gonna make it too.
That's good.
Did I
That's
do good?
amazing because so many
Yes.
so many people in this business are transient. Like we move, we're over here, we're over there because we're looking for that salon home base and that
Yes.
energy that meshes with our own energy. So to hear you say that for 20 years, that the people have been with you over 20 years, that speaks volumes about who you are.
Yes.
So
I'm
that's
honored.
outstanding.
I'm always honored.
So Trina, in your experience, since you've been around 3 decades plus, which
Yes.
is truly amazing, to have your salon, to have your stylist, to have your clients be with you, that speaks again volumes about who you are. What changes have you seen in the industry as far as stylists are concerned, finding good stylists? Have you had to, bring on any new stylists? What was that experience like, as well as the clients, inflation, and things like that?
So definitely with the stylist portion, I've definitely seen a change because now you are able to work in these salon suites where you don't need a license if you're putting in hair weaves. I've seen where you go to these stylists, they're not really professionals. They don't shampoo your hair. You have to come with your hair already shampooed. That's not rendering a professional service to me.
No.
Being able to bring in new stylists, I haven't really been looking for any because I'm transitioning my business to get the stylists that work for me now in their rightful places. So it's definitely been a challenge when you look for professional stylists. It's just not many of them out here anymore. And I believe that in our industry, I was just talking to a young lady on yesterday, they water our industry down so much. And we are professionals.
Yes.
We are professionals. We go to school. We pay for this for our educational background, but people are not living up to the standards anymore.
Correct.
When it comes to price increases, a lot of these younger stylists is not even licensed. They're charging prices that are, to me, ridiculous for the service that they render. So it has definitely been a conflict when it comes to looking at professional licensed operators as opposed to these fly-by-night stylists, kitchen stylists that are able to charge high prices in their homes, but are not really giving people healthy hair care services. So for me, I'm fortunate to keep the same stylists, and I'm trying to get them in their rightful places where they need to be as it pertains to their retirement, pricing, understanding the industry, and continuing furthering your education, because all of these things are important to you continue to be successful in our industry.
Exactly. Yeah, and you've talked a lot about that as far as helping prepare them for retirement. On an average, what would you say is your average stylist, and not just working for you, but in your experience of talking to other stylists, because we all know each other,
Yes.
Are most stylists prepared for retirement?
Not at all.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to get into the financial literacy portion of it, because I want to be able to educate other stylists, because I talk to a lot of salon owners who are just standing behind their chair. You don't even have a future savings account. You don't have a retirement plan. So what does your future look like?
Exactly.
When you come from behind that chair, what does your future look like? What are you going to do?
Exactly. And
But be on state benefits if you're not saving money because you don't understand. What I realize with a lot of salon owners, they don't have financial literacy. They missing that portion.
Yeah.
So I think it needs to be added to the hair book
I agree.
for the future
100%.
because it's a part of what we need and what we do in order to be successful in our industry.
And
So,
it's not an automatic. You don't
Yes.
automatically, you're just enjoying the work that you do, the energy, the clients, the business. You're not thinking
the
about
money at the time.
Exactly. You're not thinking about, oh, when I'm no longer doing this, what will I
Yes.
be doing? Exactly. And I've experienced the same thing in managing salons where when stylists are asked, what are your goals? And I mean your financial goals. You're welcome to share your personal goals with me, but financially, how can I help you reach your goals? And I've had people say, I don't even know what you're talking about, G. Marie. So the fact that you want to incorporate financial literacy for your team as well as the industry, again, speaks volume. So Trina, what sets your salon apart from the other salons in the area?
Well, one thing I definitely wanted to be set apart when I first opened my salon was being able to, first of all, give back to our community, number one. When you walk into our establishment, you're going to always receive a professional experience. Every time you visit, our order doesn't change. We do have standards for all of our staff. Anybody that works for me, I make sure they understand our mission statement, and I make sure they're willing to, that they are able to help execute that mission statement at all times. So Of course, when the clients come in, we're like a family here. We like for people to come and connect. You may sit in our waiting area and build relationships.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that definitely sets us apart. Everybody walks through this door feel welcome.
Yeah,
we want to
agree.
make sure you're uplifted, you have felt connected, and you building relationships most of the time when you're here.
You do have really nice clients.
Yes.
I mean, I've had the opportunity when I was at the reception desk, greeting them, having them come in and get ready for service. The conversations were always professional.
Yes.
They may have something on their mind. They may start talking about it or just sit down and be saying, whew, you know, it's a long day. And you say, oh, how's your day going? And they may start telling you about something that's going on in their life.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. So it's a safe space. So if it feels like that for the clients, then they're generally opt to share what's going on to not feel like, well, I got to keep this. This is a place for that.
It definitely.
Yeah.
And when the clients come here, they definitely feel it. I mean, clients will come through the door for the very first time. And by the time they leave, they have dumped so much on you. It's not weighing you down, but you're able to listen. You're able to give them some feedback, and they know that you care.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I love about the clients that come here, and I like that about the stylists as well.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to leave here feeling like, wow.
Exactly.
I went in feeling heavy, but I left feeling
Exactly.
connected. And being able to talk and not be judged at the same time. Because I'm telling you, the clients come here, they give you some deep personal stuff sometimes.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
ooh.
but it makes me feel good to know that you trusted me with that information.
Exactly.
You trusted me with that?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm honored to be able to make them feel that way when they leave. So that's what definitely sets us apart. It's a whole women vibe here. We're going to make sure you
good.
feel like a true sister when you leave here. If you come in that self-esteem a little low, we're going to help you build that thing up. We're going to help you make, you know, we're going to help you feel like it's possible.
Exactly.
Get yourself together.
Exactly.
You need,
Exactly.
be that shoulder to lean on.
Exactly.
So, yes.
That brings me to, you volunteer and work with, is it University of Maryland?
Yes.
Okay, so talk a little bit about that.
So actually, I'm a certified community health worker through the state of Maryland, and I'm also one of the founding members of, it's called the Hair Network, and it stands for Health Advocates in Reach and Research. And the primary focus of our network is to go into underserved communities and promote health equity, help people who can't navigate systems, don't understand like if they need public assistance and they're not educated enough to get on computers, our job is to help them with that. If you don't have a doctor and you're looking for one, our job is to help you find one. And just promote health equity in really underserved communities, because when they first founded this network, they realized that a lot of the underserved communities that people were dying at higher rates at younger ages when it came to underlying health issues because they lack information, helping them just build on that to promote community health.
Okay.
In communities of color. So,
Very good.
Yeah, that's our
Okay.
primary focus. So I'm honored to be a part of that.
So
as
that's
well.
nice. And see, that's something else stylists could get involved in.
Yes. Oh, it's a whole network. But a lot of stylists, we don't realize, and it's another thing I'm realizing that stylists don't realize, although you are a hair salon, public health is important, environmental health is important. It plays an important part in what we do.
Yeah.
But a lot of stylists are not into it. So we're trying to definitely promote it to let you know these are things that you need to do outside of giving hair services.
Right.
You need to understand how important it is in your environment to use the right chemicals and products as it pertains to your health, your client's health, to make sure your ventilation systems are running properly so that we can keep the air flowing properly so that you won't be having so many underlying germs and stuff coming into the building. So that's another thing that we focus on too.
Speaking in terms of volunteering behind your chair, and I'm glad that you have the outreach in the community so that can help your stylists have the outreach and access to an outreach. So when you work in, let's charge the money. Are you 100% booth rent? Are you commission, or do you do a little bit of both?
I do a little bit of both. I do booth rent and commission. I try not to do too many commission stylists because I have to oversee them, and I don't really have a front desk manager at this point. But I'm looking to get one. I like booth rent. I like commission. The only difference in the two for me is booth rental is a little bit more wear and tear on your business because you have somebody paying you a set amount that are seeing like 30 or 40 clients a week within your establishment. So sometimes that can cause more out-of-pocket expense versus the money that's coming in because you have to continue. I mean, you have to be repaying furniture. You have to definitely keep a cleaning company. You just have to make sure everything is still up to code every time they leave. If I could do it all over again, I would probably do strictly commission stylists. And the reason why is because during the time of being in business, I've seen stylists, once again, not understand the retirement plan, not understand the taking out the taxes, not being able to save money. And I think on the commission side, you'll be a little more stable in being a cosmetologist. So it's a freedom of choice, but for me, if I had to do it all over again, it would be strictly commission.
Yeah, and I agree with that, Trina, because I've had the opportunity to work in both environments. And when you work in commission and you do the numbers, if you're paying for everything that you should be paying for as a booth renter, it kind of works out to be the same money.
And that's what I'm telling the booth renters that work for me now. If you really do the math, you actually come out better on the commission side of things.
Less responsibility.
If you're paying a booth rent, you're paying for your own products, you're paying for your own tile service. Well, guess what? You don't have any taxes taken out. And it's honestly more on the business owner, because we're going to spend more money even if you're on commission in our business, because it gives us a greater responsibility for you, but it's better for you in the long run.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't understand numbers, so they don't understand the difference. But when you really do the math, you're better on this side of the fence as a commission stylist.
And that goes back to you.
You have more security at the end of the day.
And it goes back to you helping people and liking to have a community and people feeling very comfortable working in your business. So
my plan is to one day hopefully transition to that, because I want you to have a hope in the future when you finish behind this chair, honey. I really do.
That's
I want
excellent.
You to be out here and say, I've been booth rent for 30 years and I don't have a dime, and my hands falling apart. I can't stand up no more. And what do you have to look forward to?
Exactly.
Because you can't change the past,
Right.
if you just spend all the money. So now what you going to be on public assistance and get a Social Security check for $900 a month? You will not survive.
It's three, no.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
You won't
survive. Right. You won't be able to make it.
Yeah, so.
Can you describe your target market, or the people that you target and your target clientele?
Our target clientele is basically everyday women, 9 to 5 women. We don't really have a specific target market, but we try to target just everyday women that are able to come into our establishment and pay the affordable prices that we charge for our haircut services. But with my team of experts, we do a variety of everything. What I can't do, I love short hair. That's what I do behind my chair. But we do a variety of everything from braids to hair installs to coloring. I have a stylist that can fit that everyday one.
Okay, so you have something that fits no matter who walks in.
Yes.
You have somebody, if you don't do it, then you have somebody. Do you take new clients?
I do sometimes.
Okay.
I plan to get there where I don't take any new clients, and that's come up and coming.
Okay, because you're pretty busy. So
Yes.
I'm amazed that you can say, yes, I will take some when I have time. Given that you can take care of anyone who walks in the door because of your team of experts, how do you all stay updated on the latest beauty trends and education?
Well, I encourage my staff all the time to stay educated and informed, to make sure you stay up to date on the latest trends so that you can render those services at all times. So for me, I'm forever educating myself. I try to take educational classes on a regular basis.
You do?
Maybe like once a month. I take classes all the time because I definitely want to be abreast of how our industry is changing on a regular basis, and I encourage them to do the same.
Okay, that's excellent. So 25 years plus 3 decades.
Yes, 3 decades.
Plus in the business, how do you address or handle customer feedback or concerns?
Well, we don't get a lot of complaints, number one. So we're fortunate enough for that. But I do appreciate when the clients come through the door and they give us their feedback on what they feel about their experience here. And we're once again blessed to be a 5-star salon after 25 years. So most of our clients, all the feedback is always great.
That's good.
It's great.
That's
and
good.
I was just telling the staff, we need to start capturing some of this because new clients come through the door and they always say, it's something different in here. I like it here.
Yeah.
Everybody's so friendly. I mean, I see clients come through the door now. There's new clients. They come in dancing like, I like when I come here. All the girls are fun, and I just love it to see that we can uplift in that way, you know. And I know that it's needed because the average salon that you go into, You don't get that experience.
You want to run
You
out.
sitting there, you holding your bag tight. You can't doze off. You can't go to the bathroom and know that your stuff gonna be there when you come back. So it's truly an honor to see how the clients come through my doors and how they come feeling so free.
Free,
love
relaxed,
it.
at
Yes.
home, all of that. I know it was like that when I was here, so
I always
can
tell them, I
imagine.
be like, it's the girl in me. It's the girl in me.
Very good,
Yes.
very good.
Because I love to put a smile on women's face because people need it. You never know what people are going through, especially in this
sure
day and
don't.
time. So they need it. I try to make you feel comfortable at all times.
During the pandemic, what was Tré Shades doing? Can you talk a little bit about that?
So during the pandemic, we were closed for at least 3 months. But when we reopened, one thing I wanted to assure that when the clients came here, they felt safe. So we immediately tapped into all CDC guidelines. We made sure we practiced social distancing. We made sure that everyone wore a mask. We had a mask mandate. You could no longer bring anyone with you to your appointments. We still do and was doing back then appointments only. We no longer do walk-ins because we wanted our clients to feel safe. And I wanted to make sure I made it mandated that everybody work here, get vaccinated. I know that the vaccine, there was a lot of hesitancy going on during that time. So I made sure I stayed up to date with the CDC guidelines and made sure I stayed informed so that I can implement this information to my staff. So it was mandated that they had to be vaccinated because it was no way you could service your clients behind your chair and not be 6 feet apart from them. So I told them in order to remain here, whether you're a commissioned stylist or a booth renter, you had to get vaccinated. If you wasn't getting vaccinated, you would no longer be able to work here. Because I wanted the clients that come here to feel safe. We have a lot of seniors that come here. We have clients from all different walks of life. So I wanted to make sure that they felt safe and that we were safe as well while servicing our clients. I was fortunate enough to do the only vaccine clinic in the state of Maryland for ages 13 to 21.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing. They came in, they set up a vaccine clinic. About 50 children got vaccinated within our salon space.
Oh, wow.
And then I also went out and helped other salons do vaccine clinics in their salon spaces as well and encourage other stylists to get vaccinated because there was no way that you can render a service in a professional place and not be vaccinated. So
All of that is outstanding. The community outreach, the things you did during COVID, I mean, hats go off to you and your team.
Thank you.
But that is, I mean, I don't know anybody who did that. I didn't know that was even going on. I was just in the house during COVID, but I see that some businesses were taking the initiative to get involved in helping people to understand you can be safe and protect yourself. Don't be afraid. And given that, what would you recommend to a young person who's aspiring to come into the business? They looking and they see Tré Shades and they're like, oh my gosh, I wanna have a salon one day. I wanna come into the beauty business. What would you recommend or what would you tell that aspiring stylist?
I would first say make sure you understand all the protocols to opening up a salon because there's a lot of liabilities to it. And I think a lot of people in the beginning don't understand that. They think, hey, I want to open up a salon because I do hair, but it's a lot of responsibility that comes behind it. I say make sure you do your total research, that you understand how to run a salon in whatever state you're in, and make sure when you open your doors, you go by those standards at all times to be a successful salon in whatever area you may be in, because it's important. A lot of people, like I said, they do it for fun sometimes. Oh, I just want to do hair, but it's bigger than that, and it's a lot of responsibility that comes with it and liability. So making sure that you fully understand the assignment before you take it on.
I agree.
Yes.
And that leads me to this question. You've been in the industry for over 3 decades. I've been in for over 4 decades.
Wow.
And have you ever been asked behind your chair if you have a license?
Not at all. And then that bothers me too when salon owners allow unlicensed stylists to work within their establishment as well. You should always be licensed because once again, it's a liability at the end of the day. And a lot of people don't understand that. Salon owners, we think dollar signs in the beginning, but you truly have to think about if this person's unlicensed, the liability that comes with it, or if you're getting a service rendered by an unlicensed stylist and you're not satisfied with the service, you may get a chemical burn or something like that. If you wanted to take that person to court, you probably wouldn't win because that's a question you should have asked before you sat in their chair. It's almost like going to a doctor's office. You want to see their credentials before you say,
Absolutely.
hey, I want this to be my OBGYN, right? You want to make sure that they have the credentials that's needed in order
And that
to
they've been
perform
to school.
services.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So just to kind of update and educate the viewers, if you do go to a salon and you wonder, is your stylist licensed, you can look at her business card and you can go, there is a website that has all of those of us who are licensed on it with the State Board for Maryland, Department of Labor License and Regulation. You can look either one of us up and see our license. You can see violations. Well, you may not be able to see violations, and that's not what you're looking for. You just want to make sure that the individual that you're entrusting your hair services to is licensed.
And a professional.
Exactly. So we've talked about your outreach in the community. You talked about what you would recommend for a stylist that aspires to be like a Tré Shades. And we've also talked about not being asked about our license. What do you think about hourly rate? Because I believe that the industry needs to have a standard and an hourly rate. Every industry, every one of our clients has an hourly rate that comes to us. But oftentimes when you ask a stylist what's their hourly rate, they're kind of like, what are you talking about, G. Marie? So what do you think if we had a standard of you come in, you're here, and then after so many years or trainings or experience, different things could be a factor in you raising your hourly rate. But what do you think about hourly rate for stylists?
Well, honestly, I never thought about an hourly rate either until you helped me manage and gave me a clear vision of what you meant by hourly rate. And I do believe we should look at our hourly rate, because if I'm standing behind my chair and it takes me 3 hours to do your hair and I charge you $75, that means my hourly rate was $25. But my credentials speaks for more than $25 an hour.
Absolutely.
So it was definitely an eye-opener for me, and it's always something to think about, because every time I'm behind that chair now, I'm thinking about how long did it take, how much money did I make, and then I look at the credentials, all the background education that I have.
Success.
You have to make sure, yes, success, 25 years of being in business, still a 5-star, all that plays a role in your hourly rate.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I think we should consider that.
Okay.
It makes sense.
Yes,
It makes
I'd like to
sense for
see it
sure,
become
yes.
an industry standard, because when I think about, the one thing I always think about is when I go to the mechanic and they'll say, oh, that job's going to take 3 hours because you need transmission work or whatever you need. You're like, oh, okay. And then he tells you the price, like you said, and it's $300. You're like, oh, it's $100 an hour.
Yes.
Same in our industry.
Yes.
It's a trade, so you should be being paid for the level that you are on. So I totally agree. I'd like to see that happen.
Me too.
So, all right. So we've talked a lot about the beauty industry, community outreach, licensure, and if you're an aspiring entrepreneur that wants to come into the salon industry, what was recommended to you. And I just want to thank you for coming on, as well as for the viewers. Where can they find out more about Tré Shades?
Well, first, let me say thank you for having me. I really enjoyed the show. You can find us at Tré Shades Hair Studio, 9144 Edgeworth Drive. We're located in Capitol Heights, Maryland. Our phone number is 301-808-8700. And if you would like to learn more about Tré Shades Hair Studio, this is where you find us. And remember, at Tré Shades Hair Studio, we care behind the chair.
Nice. So, hair care hotties,
Yes.
that's a wrap for us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Thank you, thank you.
It's the Hair Kitchen, baby, and you know what it means. G. Marie gon' come around. She gon' really lay it down. She gon' tell y'all all about all the things she knows about beauty in this industry. Everything you need to see. Hair color and history. Business opportunities. So you better listen up real good. The Hair Kitchen is in your hood. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, let's start the show.